Hi, I'm Jessie from Practically Functional, and today I am going to show you how to make this super cute baby onesie. It says, "Hello, I'm new here," and it's so simple to make. You just need a onesie and some iron-on, your Cricut cutting machine, and the Cricut EasyPress, or EasyPress 2. And then the machines do all the work for you, and it comes together in about 10-15 minutes. So it's a great little gift for the new baby in your life. Let's get started. Here's what you need for this super simple project. First, you need a blank onesie, any size, whatever size you want. You need your Cricut machine. I'm using my Maker. You need the Cricut EasyPress. This is actually the EasyPress 2, which is super awesome. You need some heat transfer vinyl, whatever colors you want. I'm using two different ones. This is the rose gold foil and the glitter silver, just regular glittery silver. You need your LightGrip cutting mat to run the material through the Cricut. And then the last thing that you need is your EasyPress mat so that you protect your, work surface when you're using the EasyPress. And then actually, of course, you need your computer or your tablet or whatever it is where the design file is that's going to connect to your Cricut and tell it to print. And the design file is in Cricut Design Space. I will link to it below in the description. So if you want to use this exact file, it's there, it's ready for you. You can grab it from the link below. Let's get started. So the first part of this project is to get everything cut out with your Cricut Maker. So we're going to start by turning this thing on and moving our materials out of the way. And then I'm going to move over here to the computer and show you how to get the Design Space file opened up, cut out, everything. I'll just walk you through that real quick. And then we will move the Maker aside and use the actual EasyPress to attach it all to the onesie. Here we go. So your machine is on and we're at the computer. And this is, the project file is already opened up in here. And I already have this thing sized for the size onesie that I'm making, but you can easily resize if you need to. And also I've got all the words plus this heart is going to be in the rose gold foil. And then these little leaf guys are going to be in the silver glitter. But again, over here in your layers panel, you can group, ungroup, change them however you want, make them different colors or whatever you need. Once you have it ready the way that you want it, come click the big green Make It button, and it's going to sort into two different mats. So now the important thing here is that since this is heat transfer vinyl, you need to tell it to mirror, because the Cricut cuts from the top down, but heat transfer vinyl, you actually need to cut on the back side of it. Also, I cut this down already to 9x12 just so as to not waste anything. So you need to make sure every time you're cutting heat transfer vinyl, you always want to mirror your designs, because otherwise, since it cuts from the back, if you have an alphabet and letters, they're going to show up backwards in your finished project. So click the green Continue button. Once you've got your mats mirrored, select your Cricut device. And I actually already have, so mat number 1 is the silver, and it's this glitter and iron-on, a Cricut product. So I already have this favorited, so I'm going to select that. And it gives you a little warning. Make sure mirror is turned on and the iron-on material is face down, shiny side down on the mat. So again, it's just reminding you that you need to mirror it and put your material pretty side down so that it can cut from the back. No tool required in clamp A, which we have here, no tool. The fine point blade is already in clamp B. And this load unload mat button is just waiting for us to press it. So let's load up our material here. Again, so here you go. This is the back, the iron-on part, the part that sticks to your project surface. And this is the front of the material that shows through. And if you're ever not sure, you can always tell, because see this kind of shine here? There's a little plastic backing that holds your design in place. That is always on the front side of your material. So you take that side and you put it down onto your mat. Line it up. You know, it doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but get it mostly lined up and then get it pressed down here on your mat. Load it into your machine till it hits these black bumpers, and then press it a little bit while you press the load unload button, and it'll grab it and pull it in. Now the computer says press the flashing go button and it'll do the cut for you. Okay, and it's done. So press the load unload mat button. And for now, we're just gonna peel this off the mat and set it aside. I'll show you about weeding out the actual cutout part piece in a sec, but what the computer now wants us to do is over here, see, now we're on mat number 2, which is the foil. And so actually we need to go back into this here because it's not glitter iron-on. We want to change the material so that the Cricut knows how hard to press. So here we are, foil iron-on. I'm going to favorite this so I can get back to it later. Select it, say done. It's telling you again, make sure mirror is on and the iron-on material is face down, shiny side down on the mat. And you can see over here, if you look, here's your mat and mirror is on. So we know that this is good to go. And again, no tool, same fine point blade. So we're just gonna load this up and put it in the machine. So again, this is the back, this is the front, right? When we're done, we want this shiny side facing up. So the back side is what faces up now. We put the pretty side, the side with the shiny plastic backing on it, we put that side down onto our mat. Line it up here about where you want it. Gently press it on. Again, you don't need to press really hard, just enough to make sure it sticks and doesn't roll up. Load it in your machine. Press go. It takes a second to detect the tool and make sure you're ready to go. Press the Cricut button to make it cut. Okay, so it's done. The computer tells us press the load unload button. Pull it out. we're just going to peel this off the mat. And look, you can see, let's see if you can see. Do you see how it cut it out? And it's forward, you can read it because it cut on the back side. So when you look at it from the front, because you mirrored your mat, it's good to go. So we'll set that aside and we'll weed that next. That's the next step. Back on the computer here, as long as both mats cut fine, you can just say finish. If something didn't work and you need to recut one of them, you can always select it and go back to it. But this worked fine, so we're going to click finish. And that's it. We are done with the computer piece. So the next step is to weed away all of your background vinyl. So we don't need the Maker anymore. I've turned it off and moved it to the side. And I am going to show you how to get your vinyl weeded so that it's ready to go on your onesie. So the first thing is we need to just, trim this design out. So just grab a pair of scissors and you can see the little lines here. So just cut the design, leave a little bit of a border. You don't want to cut right up against it, but you also don't want to waste your material. So cut it out close enough. There we go. And then you can set your extra aside. And I'll do this one also since I know we're going to have to do that. It's a little harder to see on the, let's see here. It's a little harder to see. The lines on the back aren't obvious, but you can sort of feel them with your finger. So there, that's the very end of it. And if you just kind of, bend it back and look at it in the light, you should be able to see where the edges of your actual cut are so that you can just cut a small section. Let's see here, where does this one end? Yeah, all the way over to here is the last bit of the cut. So just go careful, make sure you don't cut with scissors through the actual design that your Cricut cut, because otherwise your design will be cut in half. Set aside your extra material, you're not going to need it. And then for the actual weeding, what you need is a little weeder tool. Cricut has these guys, these little weeder tools in part of their basics Cricut tool set. In the project tutorial that's linked in the description below, you'll find a link to where to get this little Cricut weeder guy. It's super simple, really easy to use, but it's just a little, spiky point, help you weed your material. So here we go. What you want to do is leave your words on this plastic backing, the shiny plastic backing that's on the front. So you want to stick this weeding tool into some of the background foil and then carefully peel it up off the plastic backing. And see, when you get to your letters, just the little cut that the Cricut made peels away nicely. So go slow and careful, but you'll start to see that the Cricut cut your letters out real nice. They stay on the plastic backing, and the rest of your project, the rest of this background vinyl comes up with some gentle pulling. So I'm going to weed the rest of this and the silver one, and then I will show you how to actually get it attached to your onesie. So now that your two design pieces are both cut out and all of the background vinyl is weeded, it's time to actually apply it to the onesie. So grab your Cricut EasyPress or EasyPress 2, which is what I'm using, in the 9x9 model, which is perfect for, you know, t-shirts and small things like this. It's totally tabletop size, so it's great. And you need your EasyPress mat, which is this thick cushion guy. Or if you don't have an EasyPress mat, what you're gonna want is like a really soft, fluffy bath towel. You definitely don't want to use the EasyPress on something flimsy like, you know, a lightly padded ironing board. You're not going to get good results with that. You need something with a really thick cushion. So the mat is perfect, but second best is like a bath towel or something like that. And you need your onesie. So onesies, you can see they're kind of small, right? And they have these seams at the side and, you know, at the collar, and they got little snaps down here at the bottom and all this sort of stuff that makes them not totally a flat surface. If your EasyPress, which mine is, if it's bigger than the width of the onesie, I have a little trick to help you get around, you know, because the EasyPress might just sit on these seams and then everything in the middle is a little bit lower, so you're not going to get the pressure that you're looking for. The trick is to just take a piece of fabric, I just have an old washcloth here, and fold it up and put it on your EasyPress mat underneath the onesie, right where you're going to place your design. And then you can see it sort of pops the middle up, but it still fits within the two seams. So the seams are down on the bottom here. So it's just sort of a little hack to get the center of your project up to being the highest point so that when you press your EasyPress down on it, it's putting pressure in all the right places. So here's what we're going to do. We start by turning your EasyPress on and setting the temperature. If you go to cricut.com/ep-settings, again, there's a link down in the description. It has all of the settings for all of the different, you know, base materials. This is 100% cotton onesie. All of the different iron-ons that you might possibly use. It tells you exactly what temperature settings and the timing and all of that stuff that you need to know. So here on my computer, I've looked it up, putting foil adhesive, which is going to be the first one that we do, onto a 100% cotton onesie. It wants the temperature at 295. So you press this temperature button and see it's set for 250. Press the up or down button to adjust as needed. And then press temperature again. And you can see it's preheating. The numbers are going up. And this light is red, which means it's preheating. Once it gets to the actual temperature that we want, this light will turn green. And actually for this, it does say that we want to apply it for 30 seconds. So I don't need to change this. But if you want to change the time, you press this timer button and then see how that's flashing. You can change it up or down. Whoops, it's not flashing anymore. Let's do it again. Up or down, 35 seconds, you know, however many you want. But it recommends 30. So I'm going to do that. And then we just leave it here till this light turns green, which means it's at the proper temperature. In the meantime, put your washcloth or whatever under your onesie so that you're ready to go. Move this off to the side here. And just, oh, there, did you hear the beep? So it's ready to go. It's green, it's telling me. A little iron-on tip is to make sure that you have pre-washed all of your fabric. So this onesie has been pre-washed and pre-dried, and I didn't use any fabric softener because that can leave a residue on the onesie itself that will make the vinyl not stick to it super well. So if you're putting this on, you know, a t-shirt or something, make sure that you pre-wash and dry your fabric to get out any shrinking, any sizing, any weird stuff that's going to happen in the wash. You want that gone before you actually put the vinyl on it. So here we go. This is ready. The way that you apply heat transfer vinyl, there's a couple of different steps. The first step is you want to preheat the base material. And so if you look at the EasyPress recommended settings, it says 5 seconds for this. So you're going to put the EasyPress on here for 5 seconds just to get the surface of the onesie warmed up. Then we're going to position our design and actually, you know, press it. So here we go. We're going to preheat for 5 seconds, and I'm not going to change the timer to do that. I'm just going to count to 5. So press down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's preheated for 5. It's a really important step. You want to get all the wrinkles out, and also it kind of helps evaporate any moisture that might be in there. The next step is to position your vinyl where you want it. And the back of this is a little bit tacky, so it'll sort of stay if you know, press it a little. And then we're going to do this for 30 seconds. So we're going to push down. We're going to press this green button to start the timer. And you can see I'm pressing, you know, a little bit firmly. I'm putting pressure into this. The weight of the EasyPress by itself is not enough to do this. So you want to make sure that you've got pressure going while you're doing this part. Okay, and then once it beeps, pick it up, put it back on here. Now, here's the super special trick, right? Before you peel this backing off to make sure that it really, really, really sticks, we're going to flip it over and heat the back side as well. So, same deal, line it up on your little washcloth here. And the recommended settings say do the back for 15 seconds. So I am actually going to change the timer here so that I don't have to properly count to 15 with exact timing. And then here we go. We're going to press from the back side as well for 15. Put the EasyPress down, press the go button on your timer. Remember to be pressing into your project this whole time. You need a little bit of firm pressure while you're doing it. And wait for the timer. There it goes. There's the beep. So lift it up. Put this back on your stand here. And then for the foil vinyl, what it says to do is a cold peel, which means wait until this cools all the way down before we actually peel this vinyl off. So right now it's not hot to the touch, but it's warm. And if I were to peel it now, that's what's called a warm peel. And it usually makes the backing come off a little easier if you do it while the entire, project material is still warm. But it doesn't quite give the vinyl a really good chance to really adhere. So for foil, it recommends that you wait till everything is cold before you actually peel it. Okay, and now just to the touch, it's not cold, obviously, it's not refrigerated, but it's back to room temperature. There's no residual heat in here from the EasyPress. So we're going to peel this off, and you just go slowly and carefully and see how it's leaving the foil on the onesie. And you're just going to slowly and carefully peel it off. If you start to peel this and you notice that the foil is coming up with the backing, it just means that it didn't quite adhere. So just put your EasyPress back on it and reapply again. Do another 30 seconds. And then another 15 on the back, or whatever the recommended timing is for your specific iron-on material and your specific base material. Okay, so the backing is off, and this thing's looking pretty good. Super flexible with the iron-on it, but now we need to put the little leafy bits next to the heart. So we're going to grab our leafy bits design, put this guy back on the little towel here so that we get a nice good press. And then for glitter iron-on, it's a little more finicky. So we need to change the settings on the EasyPress. It needs to be a lot hotter. So here's what we're going to do. Press the temperature button, and we're going to press this up. Cricut recommends going all the way up to 340 degrees for glitter. And again, we're going to preheat the material really quick. We're just going to, get this onesie warm again for 5 seconds. But the actual application time is 30 seconds again. So we're going to go back up to 30 seconds on the timer here. And once this is preheated, this light will turn green. So we're going to wait just a couple of seconds. It's a very fast preheat. And once the heat is ready, we'll get going with the second layer of this project. There it goes. So 5-second preheat on the material itself. I'm just going to count that out instead of setting the actual timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Whew, yeah, nice and warm. Okay, and then we're going to line this guy up where we want him. Right about there-ish, probably. And you don't need to worry. You don't need to put your transfer paper back on top of here, it's not going to hurt this to come into direct contact with the EasyPress. If you're really worried about it, you can sort of line this back up on here, but I do this all the time, and I actually think it just does a really nice job of getting it, you know, sort of well into the fabric. But here, if you're worried about it, you can just line your little paper back up, and then we're gonna go 30 seconds. Ready? Press the green button to start, put a little pressure on while you're doing this, and wait for the timer to beep at you. Here it goes. So actually, you may have noticed that while I was doing that, it lost a little bit of heat and was coming back up to preheated temperature again while I was doing that. So this piece, where we do 15 seconds on the back, is going to be really important to make sure that it's really stuck. But again, if when I go to peel this off, if it comes up a little bit, we're just going to do it again. So it's not actually a problem if it didn't stick the first time. Don't worry. Okay, 15 seconds. Ready? Press the go button. Press down a little bit and wait. There it goes. Okay, so we flip it back over, and for glitter, it actually says to do a warm peel. So I'm going to take this extra layer off, and then, ouch, it's a little hot to the touch. I'm going to give it a couple seconds before I actually peel it off, because you don't want to burn your fingers while you're doing it. But if you just wait for the project to get warm. Yeah, here we go. Okay, and so carefully peel it up, and you can see the glitter is quite well stuck to the fabric, so I don't need to do it again. But if you have any problems, you just put this plastic back down and do the press again. If anything ever doesn't stick the first time, you can do it again. But that's the really awesome thing about this EasyPress 2, is that it pretty much just sticks the first time. You don't actually usually have that problem. So that's it. You have this awesome onesie. And now that you are done with all of the pressing, it's still a little bit warm, so let it cool down. And then aftercare instructions. So important things about washing it is you don't want to wash it for the first 24 hours. You want to, you know, just let it sort of sit and adhere and cure the adhesive backing part of this. And then you always, 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 always want to turn it inside out before you wash it. And I wash everything on a delicate cold cycle with foil iron-on. It recommends not to wash it in the washing machine. It recommends that you always do anything with foil iron-on by hand. Now, I don't always adhere to that rule, and I haven't had a problem yet, but the foil iron-on is a little bit more delicate than things like the glitter or just the, you know, matte iron-on. So, 24 hours before you wash. No bleach, no products, no weird anything like that. You can use laundry soap, but no bleach, nothing like that. Turn it inside out. Do it on a cold, delicate washer cycle. And then again, for drying, It's really best if you either lay it flat to dry or hang it on the line so that it can air dry, but it is possible to tumble dry. Again, if you do it on a low heat or no heat, delicate tumble dry cycle, and make sure it's all still inside out. So, cute onesie, took, not very long. The Cricut Maker and the EasyPress did all of the work for us. And now you have an adorable baby onesie that's a perfect baby shower gift or just a homemade cute onesie for your own kid. This one is for this baby who is due in about a week. And that's it. That's all you have to do for this project. For more great Cricut project ideas, simple step-by-step tutorials, how-to tips and tricks, cut files, you name it, anything Cricut related, head to practicallyfunctional.com and make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you see every new video that gets uploaded for a Cricut tutorial or a how-to tip. Thanks for watching.